Ouch.
Wait a
Hey,
minute.
Elena.
Hi, Elena. Nice to see you.
Hello.
How you doing, Elena?
Good.
Good evening, everybody.
Who's that?
Oh, good evening, Ben.
Yeah,
Who's that?
that's Ben Vargo. Yes.
Ben.
What do you
Come
mean?
on. Did you got my email?
It could be somebody else.
No, did you get my email? Did you got my email, sis? Not joke.
Yeah, Joe, I saw your email.
I'm talking about a suggestion. One
Oh.
Friday we can invite friends to some yoga classes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that. I'm gonna talk to Jeff about that tomorrow, actually.
Yeah, because Frank he's an experienced yoga class instructor.
Yep, we're gonna talk about it tomorrow and then see what we can do.
Yeah, because we right now we don't have any doing sport. We can do a yoga class.
Yeah. So we still have a couple people coming and joining in. We might give it another minute or so.
Oh, I know this guy. One of the new athlete. I know this athlete. That's kind of a Semitic County
I met
athlete.
that man before.
This guy is Semitic athlete.
Yeah, Ben, I was just in another Zoom, but it's going to 7:30, but I said, I got to leave for this one.
Mm-hmm.
Did you do Leah, did you go baseball Zoom meeting?
No, it was a factuality one.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
If you're wondering what that strange noise was, that was my brother.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to say bad words. He was just acting like a goof. Let's just say that. I didn't want to say idiot because, it's not a nice.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
I tell you sound like goofballs.
Willie, you're so funny. Like, you just every time I see you on there, I make my day.
What especially he funny guy. Hey, I like your background, Ben. I
You
like
like
your
it?
background. A healthy hearing, also the eye checkup, eat healthy food.
Yeah, it's the healthy athletes disciplines.
Good, I like that.
Yep.
So, Pam, how is Dave doing?
Good.
Good.
Hey, yeah, I saw Dave a couple minutes ago.
Yeah, he's taking the dog to puppy class.
Oh, really? He became that dog?
Yeah, I don't think so.
You say you have a dog?
Yeah, I have a dog.
Yeah.
What's your dog's name?
Have a good dog.
My dog's name is Moxie.
Foxy?
Foxy.
Oh,
That's a really cute dog, Pam. I like the one with the Moxie name on it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a dog named Penny, and she's in the living room. So she's like camera shy, so she's her face on camera, go the other way.
yeah,
Well,
my two dogs are downstairs. They're having their dinner.
Yeah.
I wish I have a dog.
One
I
dog is in classes, but we have a private trainer because unfortunately with all this, we can't do in-person classes.
Yeah. No, we were lucky. There's only a couple people in the class, so we're good.
Okay. Okay, right now it's 7:03, we started. Ben, we can start the classes.
We're going to go ahead and get started. Might as well get into it. I think we will have some people join in. I know, like Elena said, there is another thing going on till 7:30, but that might be ending early. So if they join in, that's perfectly fine. So I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody really quick. There we go. And unmute. There we go. Awesome. So we should be all set. So thank you everybody for joining. I hope you have had a great day so far. This is our third virtual health forum that we've had. A lot of you guys have been on the past two ones. We had physical fitness back in May, and then we had healthy hearing and audiology back in June. So we're very excited to have Pam Greenwood here to talk about health promotion and specifically sun safety and hydration. So thank you, Pam, so much for, again, being willing to lend your time to lead this session. We really appreciate you. Just kind of as the last two health forums worked, Pam is going to go ahead and provide some education about tonight's topic. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them into the chat box or just raise your hand. Obviously, we are not going to use a PowerPoint for tonight's session, so if you raise your hand, we'll be able to see it so I can unmute you. And other than that, that's pretty much it. Pam, if you want to go ahead and take it away.
All right, well, good evening and thanks for having me. My name is Pam Greenwood, and many of you have seen me around with healthy athletes and medical volunteer. I'm in and out of events and just love being around you guys. So this is a great privilege to be able to speak to you tonight. I did want to talk to you about health promotion, which is part of Healthy Athletes. And basically what health promotion does is it helps you guys focus on being healthy. We want you to be healthy with your food choices. We want you to have a healthy lifestyle. We want you to exercise. So these are all things that health promotion kind of goes into. Some of the things that you may see at a Healthy Athletes event with health promotion is we might do a bone density screening on you if we have the machine. We always try to check your blood pressure. We get your weight and we measure out your BMI, which is your body mass index, which is something that compares your height and weight. And it tells you how much, basically how much fat you have in your body. And that's something that we want to keep on the lower side. So what we're trying to do is encourage you to have healthy behaviors. Some of the education stations that we have for health promotion is we do the sun safety, the hydration. We also talk about nutrition to make sure that you're making healthy choices. We can talk about stop smoking. If you're a smoker and you want to quit, that's something that we can discuss. And hand washing. And I think that's about it. So let's talk about hydration. It is summertime, so it is hot outside, and if you're outside doing any type of exercise, we want to make sure that you're staying hydrated. So to hydrate yourself, you want to make sure that you're drinking water. And I see Elena is drinking her water now. So water is really the best thing to drink. Your body is made up mostly of water, so you want to make sure that you're replacing the water that you may sweat, or even when you urinate, you lose water that way. So we want to make sure that you're staying well hydrated. One of the things that you can do, especially if you are heading up to a big event, you want to make sure you hydrate before. I see you, Amanda. You know, before your event, you want to do the day before, you want to make sure you really push the fluids, make sure that you're hydrated even before you start your event. And then before your actual event of the day, you want to make sure that you have at least a bottle of water before you have your activity, and then try to drink a bottle after your activity. And then you want to make sure that you're drinking a bottle with every meal and also throughout the day. So if you want to know exactly how much water you should be drinking a day, you want to take how much you weigh and cut it in half. And that number is the number of ounces of water that you should be drinking every day. Okay? Typically, we definitely don't want you to do any kind of energy drink. The Monsters and all of that stuff, that's really bad for you and it can cause trouble with your heart. So you want to stay away from all of those types of energy drinks. They are bad. Something like your Gatorade or Propel or Powerade, those things are okay for an event if you're really, really sweaty. Because when you sweat like that, you can lose some nutrients in your body, like your sodium and your potassium and things like that. You want to try to replace those with something like your Gatorade or your Propel or Powerade. That's typically the only time I want you to drink a lot of that. Most of the time it's just water, okay? One of the things that you can check to see if you're hydrated or not is to look at your urine after you go to the bathroom. If your urine is pretty clear or has very little yellow color to it, then you're actually in really good shape. If your urine has any yellow to it at all, you need to drink more water. So that's a good way to tell if you're hydrated. So very little yellow to just a pale yellow is good, but anything darker than that, you need to drink. All right. If you're at an event, and this actually happened last year at Summer Games, we did have somebody go into heat problems, heat exhaustion from being outside in the heat and not drinking enough water. And he actually ended up having to go to the hospital because he didn't drink enough. So some of the things that you want to watch for if you are at an event and you're really hot, if you have a dry mouth, if you feel dizzy, if you have no tears or you can't make any spit in your mouth, if you're not sweating, if you feel like your heart is racing, you need to find medical right away. Okay? Or if your medical isn't there and you're just at a practice, you need to let your coach know right away. Those are things that can be dangerous to you. We want to make sure that that doesn't happen. All right. What else can I tell you about? I mean, really the most important thing is to make sure you're drinking your water every day. And as many bottles as you can drink is the more you drink, the better off you are. So has everybody been out in the sun this summer? Yeah? Is everybody wearing their sunscreen? Thumbs up. All right, good job, guys. So that's one of the things that you can do to protect yourself against the sun. Sun can actually, too much sun and not wearing sunscreen can actually cause skin cancer, and we don't want that to happen. So you want to make sure that you are putting on your sunscreen before you go out. You want to make sure that you're limiting your sun exposure between like 10 and 2. Those are the worst hours to be outside in the sun. So if you can find some shade during that time, if you have to be outside, that would be helpful. You definitely want to wear a hat. If you have a hat that has a big wide brim, not just like a ball cap, but something that's got a big wide brim all the way around your hat, that covers your head, your face, and the back of your neck. Loose fitting clothing also helps protect you from the sun. So you want to wear something that's kind of loose, and if you can wear something that's loose and really light, but long sleeved or long pants, that will help protect you from the skin cancer as well. With using your sunscreen, you want to make sure that the SPF on that is at least 15, but 50 to 75 is better. So you want to make sure that you are getting at least a 15, a 50, or a 75. 75 is probably you don't need to go much higher than that, but those are the best ones to use. And you want to make sure if you're outside and you're sweating, or if you've been swimming, that you put your sunscreen on every couple of hours, because it does sweat off and it does come off in the water. Even the waterproof ones really need to be reapplied, because you want to make sure that you're completely covered. Okay. If you're looking at the weather in the summertime, they'll tell you that there's a UV index. And a UV index tells you how safe it is to be outside in the sun. So the lower number is safer than the higher numbers. So if you happen to hear that on the news or on the weather, the UV index is high, then you want to stay out of the sun. Okay, I think that, you know, it is okay to be out in the sun. We do want you to get some sun. We definitely are out with your events and everything to be outside. Sunlight actually gives you vitamin D, which is an important part of something that your body needs. So we do want you to get your vitamin D from the sunlight, but you can also give yourself, some vitamin D supplements if you aren't out in the sun, especially in the wintertime, if you're not doing much, then it's a good idea to take some vitamin D. You want to stay away from tanning beds because those are just as bad as the sunlight. All right, guys. Really not a whole lot, but there's pretty good information there. If you guys have any questions, be happy to answer. Okay, Joe?
I think looking through the chat, there were a few things that came up. So Elena said she knows even at the swim venue, it is possible to get heat exhaustion even though we are inside.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, very great point there. It's important, even if you are inside, obviously you aren't exposed to the sun as much, but it's still, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't stay hydrated.
Right.
So great point there. She also said even lip balm with SPF really helps.
Yes, it does. Because your lips can get sunburned too, just like the rest of your skin.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Which Sierra actually said she uses a 75 SPF sunscreen because her lips get chapped easily. Good. Elena had a question of, and Joe, I see you'll get to you in a second. Elena had a question of what are some good reef-free sunscreens?
I don't know.
Elena, do you want to clarify that a little bit? 1 second. It should be unmuted. There we go.
Yeah, so I meant to say like reef friendly, like one, because I want to use a sunscreen that's protecting me, but like like when you go to the beach or the ocean, you sometimes see like the
oil,
kind of like oily sheen on there.
Yeah.
And that's from like a lot of sunscreen. Because I want to try to find a sunscreen that for me that's really good and keep me from being burnt, but also that it's not endangering, our sea wildlife. Because, I love our sea life.
So do I. If anybody has seen my tattoos, they're all sea life. So, I know that you'd probably want to look for something in the organic type of thing. And I know the Honest Company,
yeah,
you can find online, actually has a good sunscreen that you could probably find.
Yeah, and I just dropped a link in the chat, Elena, that tells you kind of a little bit about what ingredients that you want to avoid in your sunscreens to have that reef safe. And it also provides a list. I think there's about 10 or so of sunscreens that are supposed to be reef safe. If you want to check that out.
Thank you, Ben.
No problem. But thank you, Elena, for that question. That's a great question.
Yeah, that's a very good question.
Joe, give me 1 second. Should unmute you. There we go.
Okay. I think so. I went to some class for a couple years ago. The one that state office lady, international office SOI, one lady teaching us, especially and to get loud sugar, do not you drink that. Also, they can drink coconut water. It electrolytes your body system. Also, number 2, Alina asked the sunscreen product. I have right now. I'm gonna try. Right now, I'll sell the product. I have a sunscreen. Is not chemical in the sunscreen. I think that one day I put it on, the sunscreen can stung my eye. My sunscreen SOV. I'll sell the product. I'm gonna try to get Alina the product. name is because I use that product. Nothing happened. This very good sunscreen product.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. This is my answer about the question. Thanks.
Thanks, Joe.
Great. And then Willie, I see your hand is up with the Zoom function. Nice job using that. You should be able to ask your question in a second. There we go.
All right. Okay. So my question is this, Dr. Greenwood. Why is drinking water so important? Do you think water is vital to the proper functioning of the human body?
Absolutely.
And how much water should you drink every day? Can you drink it in the daytime, the nighttime, or most of the time?
Well, if you're awake at night, then you should drink it at night too. But if you're sleeping, then you should drink it throughout the day.
Yeah, because I used to drink water most of the time, especially in the daytime and in the nighttime. Just especially when I exercise on the treadmill, like I was just keeping running around like this.
Yeah.
And then I also do some stretches, especially I was just trying to do exercising as well.
Good.
And how long can you stay hydrating when you're protecting yourself?
You mean from the sun?
That's right.
You can stay out in the sun, but you have to make sure you use your sunscreen. Even being dark skinned like you have to wear your sunscreen.
Yeah, I used to, especially when I try to wear like sunscreen, like a sun bottom, I used to get H2 sunscreen to make sure my body will be fresh and on time.
Yep. But you want to make sure that if you're outside for more than a couple hours that you have to keep putting it on.
That's right. And since March of 2018, my sister accidentally drank a monstrous drink that she's not supposed to do. She was accidentally buy a Monster Energy drink, and the next thing you know, her heart was stumping, and she fell on the bed, and she couldn't wake up.
Yeah, those monster drinks are very dangerous.
I shouldn't drink any other kind of stuff like that.
Good.
Because I never used to drink that on purpose like this.
Yeah. Yeah, they're really dangerous for your heart, so it's bad to drink them.
That's what I'm trying to say about that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a great point, Willie. They are very chocked full of, chemicals and sugar here. So you definitely, you don't want to drink those. If you drink them at all, you definitely want to drink them very minimally. So great point, Willie, and thanks for asking those questions. Amanda was next, but I guess she might have left, so she'll probably come back in a second. So Sierra, you would be after her, so you should be able to talk in a second. There you go.
All right. I have like three questions. I know I'm probably gonna ask a lot of questions, but
No, go ahead.
Okay, the first one is like, if you're out in the sun, like I have very light skin tone, like I'm very pale and stuff. Is it true that you have to stay like in the sun if you're gonna go outside, and then even if you put sunscreen on and stuff? It said 10 to 15 minutes of sun exposure. Is it okay, or could I go longer?
Oh no, yeah. As long as you've got your sunscreen on and you're protecting your skin, then you can stay outside longer than 10 or 15 minutes. You just have to be real careful because you are so fair.
Yeah.
You want to make
sure. I tell by my skin tone.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and I have like I'm naturally like a redhead, so yeah, I'm like a ginger. And I'm Irish, so.
Well, you've got all three things against you there.
It's from my dad's side, so.
Yeah. Yeah, you can be outside. You just have to keep yourself protected.
Second question is like I know like when you drink water, it causes you to go to the bathroom a lot, but like is there anything that can happen to you? Like could you just, or is it just mainly that like you just I don't know, you just go to the bathroom a lot. I guess that's the main thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the more you drink, the more you're going to pee because the water's basically flushing the toxins in your body out.
So let's just say what happens if you drink a lot of water and your color of your urine is still yellow and kind of dark. Could this be a sign like a UTI or something? Because I had it before.
Not necessarily. I mean, usually with the urine infection, you're going to have pain and possibly fever and burning when you pee.
Yes.
If it's still dark, I would just try to drink just a little bit more water.
A lot of it's from like I would hold my stuff at school and I would be so embarrassed to go to the bathroom at school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I had to be in the hospital for that when I was 7.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I hold my I don't mean to be like kind of inappropriate, but like hold my stool in.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And then I had to get mine checked out. I had to get mine x-rayed and everything. It was like really stuck like right here.
Yeah, that can happen too. That's another good reason to drink water because the more you drink with your water, the softer your poo is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easier to go.
Yeah. And then the third thing, kind of like a question and a comment.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I was like 12 years old at the time, and it was at my brother's baseball not a tournament, but it was like a picture. They had to get pictures taken and stuff. I remember, I guess because I didn't drink enough water, I didn't really drink because I would get, I don't know. It was really hot out, and I remember my heart was stopping a lot. I kept getting palpitations, skipping regular heartbeats, and then all of a sudden I turned black. Like my mind turned black, and it feels like I'm gonna die. And no, and then come to find out, there was this one woman that literally saved my life. She had me drink juice to help, but with the a lot of people that are like diabetic or they have passing out episodes, and
Yep.
It helps get your blood sugar up so you're alert.
Yeah.
And I had a near-death experience, and it was scary.
Yeah, that can happen. That's why you have to stay hydrated.
Yeah, I shouldn't be talking too long, so I'll
You
go to the next person who wants to ask questions. So, yeah.
did a good job, Sierra.
Yeah, I just also want to chime in there. It's Sierra's asking if there's really kind of any negative effects of drinking too much water. There typically really aren't. In extreme cases, if you are, I don't know if any of you guys have seen people like chug water bottles really fast. There have been extreme cases of people like doing that too much and drinking too many bottles of water like that too quickly, and they've gotten issues with drowning in their lungs, which sounds crazy. But other than that, there's not really typically any negative symptoms that would occur. You would just be going to the bathroom a lot more, like Pam said. So
You're right with the water intoxication. It depletes your sodium, which is an important part to get your muscles to move. But that's really only if you're drinking gallons and gallons of water.
Yep. So pretty extreme case. I don't know too many people that drink that much water.
No.
Who was next? Melissa, you're next. Let me unmute you. There you go.
I said Amanda was after me.
Yeah, so she would be after you, so she would be next.
Okay. Let me see. Well, I have one question. When I use soap like watermelon, or I use a different kind of soap like aloe, that helps me, and my skin gets a little rash very quickly. If I use too much soap when I'm at work, or use it too much at home, and it gets very red. But what can I do to get it not to get red rashes or anything?
On your hands or?
Yeah, on my hands and my arms when I wash my hands with soap and stuff.
What kind of soap do you use?
I use the aloe, the one with the white stuff in it.
Like
It
aloe
comes in the
vera?
bottle.
Like aloe vera or something else?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Aloe
Yeah,
vera?
that's it. Yeah. And it has like aloe in it. Yeah.
Yeah. Would that makes your hands all red?
Yeah, like right here where my, yeah.
Yeah. I'd make sure you put some lotion on. If lotion doesn't bother you, I would make sure you put lotion on a couple times a day, and that will help.
Okay.
And you might want to switch your soap to something different.
Oh, okay. I think that's a good idea. Make sure that doesn't have no scent or anything, probably.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then a question, what kind of food can you avoid so the stomach won't be upset if
Ugh.
you eat some?
You probably want to stay away from things that are acidy, like your tomato sauces, pizza, spicy foods, greasy foods, things like that. Citrusy, like your oranges and lemons, those kinds of things.
So you drink like, is it like 20 ounces of water a day, or is it like, or just like,
You should be drinking probably 3 or 4 water bottles a day.
yeah, because this one's a 20 ounces
Yeah, I'd
water.
probably drink 3 or 4 of those if you can.
Yeah. But I put flavor in there, like
That's okay.
sugar-free flavor ones.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, Amanda's next.
Awesome. Thanks, Melissa, for sharing that. And she brought up a really great point that we actually hadn't brought up just yet regarding kind of adding flavor into your water. You know, a lot of people might struggle with drinking water, which is why, you know, we like the sugary drinks more. Sometimes they taste better. So, you know, adding in flavoring, you know, stuff like lemons also, you know, natural lemons, that's great. Or even if you go to the store, you can find kind of little things that you can squirt into your water that have all kinds of flavors. The biggest thing with that is you want to make sure not to, you know, they can have added sugar and such. So you want to go the non-sugar route with those. But typically, you know, those are fine to drink with your water if it'll help you drink water overall. That's really the main goal with those.
Yep.
Amanda, you are next. 1 second, and you should be unmuted. There you go.
Walking, I walk outside, getting cars, always my drinks, because that's already done, and getting cars, baskets, and grab drink, like lower sugar, Gatorade, and I try to be careful on heat because that did not have my heart too. And tomorrow I'm playing tennis in the heat. I walk, come back home, and go back outside, play tennis for Special Olympics.
You made a better choice with the G2 than the regular Gatorade because it does have less sugar. So that's great. But you have to put some water in your body too.
I try to be careful of the heat because of my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I try to be careful what I eat, and I was that like every day, like half portion of food each day, whereas no sugar, just low rate. Sometimes It's tennis water, like bevel cherry water, vitamin water. That's I drink too.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great. Thank you, Amanda, for sharing that. Oh. All right. Thank you, Amanda, for sharing that. That also brings up a great point. So Gatorade, is Gatorade okay to drink? Yes, I would say it is, whether it's just the original Gatorade version or the G2 version. You don't want to drink that nonstop. Definitely, it does have quite a bit of sugar in it. But after, Amanda was talking about tennis practice and stuff, drinking a Gatorade after or, even during practice is fine. It gets those electrolytes in you, which are really important for our sport performance. You just don't want to drink them. You don't have them at every meal or have a soda at every meal because they are pretty full of sugar. So we do want to kind of drink water more so than that. But it is okay to have, Gatorade or even a soda, in moderation. We just don't want to have them a whole lot.
Right. And I did see a couple of questions pop up about sparkling water and seltzer water. Those are fine to drink too. There's nothing wrong with those. They're just carbonated.
Mm-hmm. David, you are next. Thank you for patiently waiting. You should be able to ask in a second. There you go.
Hello, how are you? When you said you recommend us to start walking, when they get too much sun by 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. because that's the hours that we get the temperature will be higher than normal. Usually when we go to try to walk by 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. And that's the good times to walk. My other question was that when I first started walking and tried to sell myself motivated, do the 50-50 challenge for the Special Olympics, and I'm going to be accomplishing my goal. I accomplished my goal today of the 100 miles. Is that in the beginning when I start walking, I have a my knee usually hurt my knee, but as I continue practice for walking outside my neighborhood, my knees doesn't hurt anymore. Do you happen to know why in the beginning my knees used to hurt and now they are not hurt? They are not hurt. My knees that doesn't hurt me anymore. Do you happen to know why in the beginning I was feeling that my knees were hurt and now it doesn't hurt?
If you weren't used to walking as much as you are now, then it might have been aggravating your knee to make it hurt. But now that you're more used to it and you've been doing it more, you've actually built up some strength in your legs, and that's why your knees don't hurt anymore.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And my question, so you said you recommended to start walking in the morning time, and the evening time is not good because that will be the too much sun, correct?
The sun is the strongest during the day between the 10 o'clock in the morning and about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That's when it's the strongest when it hits the earth. So it's more dangerous during that time just because the sun rays are stronger during that time period. But if you walk in the early morning, the sun's not as strong, or in the evening, the temperature may be a little bit warmer, but the sun rays aren't as strong on your body. So those are the safer times to walk rather than in the middle of the day.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And I would like to send an invitation to you on September 30 for the healthy Game Minds, where we're going to be having a Zoom meeting with a healthy choices game. September 30th at 7 p.m.
I'll have to check my calendar.
Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you, David.
Great. And before we get to Elena, Faith put in the chat, she said, I drink herbal tea all day. Is this okay? Pam, I'm gonna kind of pass that one to you. Off the top of my head, I believe it's fine. Again, in moderation. I believe it has a lot of good kind of vitamins and minerals to boost your immune system, but I'm not sure if drinking it all day would be good. Do you have any information on that, Pam?
If it has caffeine in it, it probably is not a good idea to drink it all day, because you should really limit your caffeine intake, because it can elevate your heartbeat. And it's really not great for you. So it really depends. If it's decaf tea, then you're probably better off drinking that than anything with caffeine in it. But again, it still doesn't count towards water intake. So you still need to be drinking just the water on top of that.
Awesome. Thanks, Faith, for asking that. I hope that answered your question. Elena, you should be good to go.
Yep. Yeah, so, you know, and I agree with Sierra, you know, like I am of descent where I burn easily, you know. I'm mostly Scandinavian on my mom's side. But I have two questions. One is, you know, like, you know how you see, like when you go to like the suntan lotion care section, you know, you see a lot of products, you know, that say that they will help you, you know, like get more color in your tan. It's a sunscreen, but it also accelerates your tan.
Right.
Is it true that they're very full of chemicals that are just going to be very bad to you?
Yeah. You want to stay away from those. It's not good to do anything
I
like
also
that.
wonder, is it okay to use like the Jergens natural glow that kind of gives like like a little bit of a tint to you?
Uh-huh.
And my second question is, you know, I do have in my family, you know, we have heart disease, so we have to be careful on caffeine intake, but luckily I don't have that. I mean, you know, I need my coffee, you know, like a lot of people, you know, I need coffee in the morning.
That's fine.
Is it okay to have like at least 1 or 2 cups in the morning? But I also, for each cup, I always make sure to drink water with it.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, it's 1 or 2 cups in the morning is fine. It's not going to be harmful. If you drink coffee all day, that would be more of a concern.
No, I stay away from I usually try to let, you know, like around like 2 o'clock, it's like, no, okay, no more caffeine.
That will also keep you up at night.
Yeah. And I don't drink Monsters because, you know, it's just all sugar and bad stuff I do not or want in my body.
No, I totally agree.
You know, that brings up a great point, Elaine. I think coffee sometimes has a bad rep. You know, coffee actually, specifically black coffee, has, you know, some good health benefits to drinking it. It's when, you know, if you go to Dunkin' Donuts, for example, and you get like a, I don't know, mocha frappuccino or something, and they pump all that sugar and stuff in there, you got the whipped cream and all of that. You know, that's when you're having the added chemicals, you're having the added sugar and all of that stuff. That actually kind of makes it less healthy for you. So there is, you know, a cup or 2 in the morning is definitely okay, even with some creamer, some sugar, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I just do a little bit of milk, and I use the stevia, Truvia sugar.
Okay.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. You know, I think a lot of people do have that bad rep towards coffee sometimes, but you know, it does have health benefits if you drink it relatively natural without all the added stuff in there. Let's see, Joe, you're back up. There you go.
Also, Alina talk about the coffee. Every morning I make some coffee. You can make a sweet cup of coffee. It make your liver light. Light coffee is best. You cannot make it strong. The light coffee is best. Okay, adding more water in there tastes like a light coffee is best. No, how can that be? This is my question. I have answered this question for Alina.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great. Sierra, go ahead.
I will not talk too long because sometimes I'm a talker, sometimes I'm just real quiet. So I'll try to make this kind of short and simple as possible. I basically just have like two comments to make. The first one is, I know Willie said in the chat, like, how about, is sparkling water good for you? It is, but I think I said it in the chat. I don't know because I type very long, and it said that it is good for you, but just don't drink it right before you exercise. Like if you're gonna go and exercise and you want to drink, a sparkling water or something, have a sip of it or whatever. It has a lot of carbonation. It causes, and there's a lot of. I mean, it's good to drink it, but like only drink it like maybe once a day, because it can cause heartburn. It can cause nausea and upset stomach, cause indigestion because it goes up to your esophagus. And I remember drinking the sparkling water before I went to bed. Wasn't a smart idea. And then I remember I laid down, and I could feel the gas going up to my neck. I thought I was going to throw up. I thought I was going to get sick because, and nobody likes it when you get sick and you have to throw up. And I don't like that feeling at all. And I remember I couldn't even sleep because the pain was just so bad. And I tried going to the bathroom and I couldn't really go. I was constipated. Everything was backed up. And then after I've been to the bathroom and all, after I felt better, I laid back down. Especially if you have an upset stomach, the best way to lay down is to your side, and have your legs up while you lay down, because it kind of eliminates the pain. It kind of relieves it. And then there's another thing. Oh, I forgot. Here's my advice to all of you guys. If you're thinking about exercising, eat before you do it. Because the reason why I said that is because definitely not exercise right before you eat, but just saying, like, if you're exercising on a full stomach, not the best idea for you because it causes like stomach aches and upset stomach. Especially if you want to swim laps around the pool, be sure to be very careful with it, because if you swim too fast and stuff, it can make your body burn, like you have heartburn and cause indigestion. That's not good. That's my advice, is to wait at least half an hour before you do an activity, like after you eat. I don't want the same thing to happen to me, so I'm trying to make sense here. I don't know if I need to elaborate on it more or whatever. And I'm kind of stuttering a lot because I get nervous when I talk. Especially in front of people, like online, virtually, and even in person.
No, you did a good job.
Talking and presentations and stuff, so I get like a lot.
Oh, you did good.
Yeah.
Good
That's
job.
pretty good for me. I'll stop talking again.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. Let's see. Miss anything in the chat? No. I think we caught up on the questions. I do have something that I want to bring up for you to elaborate on, Pam. So I think sometimes a lot of people, if it's an overcast, kind of cloudy day, I think there might be a misconception that you can stay outside all day and not have to wear sunscreen because it's cloudy, right? So you don't see the sun coming down. Could you elaborate a little bit more on if that's okay, or if we do need to wear sunscreen even when it's a pretty cloudy day?
Actually, when it's cloudy, it's the worst time to get sunburn because you're not getting as hot as if you were sitting in the sun. So you absolutely have to have your sunscreen on, even if it's cloudy outside.
Yeah, so it's pretty crazy. A lot of people think, well, we can't see the sun, so I shouldn't be getting sunburned, right? And then, I personally,
they get sunburned.
Yeah, I personally like going out to the beach or something where you're out on the sand all day. You know, you
Yep.
think it's cloudy, you're not going to get sunburned, and then the next day I had the worst sunburn than I had when it was sunny out. So
Yeah.
uh, I just wanted to bring that up, that even if it is cloudy outside, you know, if you're going to be outside for an extended period of time, you still want to try to make sure to put on sunscreen.
Yeah, those UV rays that cause the sunburn still come through the clouds, especially on the beach. They bounce off the sand and they bounce off the water and hit you even more. So it's really, really important that you have your sunscreen on no matter what you're doing when you're outside. Even in the winter, if you're skiing, you want it on your face. Make sure you don't burn your face. So definitely important thing to do.
I saw Amanda has a question. So Amanda, you should be good. There you go.
You're saying I walk outside because it's a caught and I go back in and I feel hot and always when my lunchtime I got sunburn really bad. Always I've got lotion on with built-in like soft like rice and lotion, and I've got lotion on, and I got burn on my arm, and I got really dry skin. That's why I got sunburn while I'm working outside.
Yeah, and you have to make sure.
Cards and on my lunch break.
Yeah, when you're putting on your sunscreen, you want to make sure that you cover every part of your skin. Try not to miss any areas or you'll end up with spotty sunburns. I've done that before.
Yep. And another important thing is, you know, we brought up the beach, or if we're, you know, a bunch of you guys are swimmers, you want to make sure to let that sunscreen kind of have a few minutes before getting into the pool, for example, or going into the water if you were at the beach. Because if you get in too fast, you know, it's just going to wash the sunscreen right off. It didn't even have time to really stick to your skin to provide that protection. So Pam, do you know if there's a certain, I think normally it says on the sunscreen bottle, but is there an estimate of time that you want to wait when you apply sunscreen and then actually get in the water?
Just a few minutes is fine.
Yeah, so typically you can find that information on the sunscreen bottle, I believe. I think it might say it on the back or something like that, but you normally,
it probably will say like 5 minutes or so.
Yeah. So, you know, 5 to 10 minutes or so, you should be good to go.
Yep.
Willie, so you got a question. There you go. Go ahead.
So, Dr. Greenwood, do you think it is a safe amount that when we go to the beach, do you think we should stay in the shade as we should be safe as we can put sunlight, especially when your skin gets rough?
I mean, if you're at the beach and you have a beach umbrella or a tent to sit under, that's the best thing to do because you're staying out of the sun completely. But if you're in the sun, make sure you have your sunscreen on.
I especially wear sunglasses so
Absolutely.
I don't want to burn my eyes out.
That's right.
Especially when I was looking across from the sun.
Yep, that's a good protection for yourself too with being out in the sun is to wear sunglasses.
Yeah, sunglasses would be probably could see better, especially not only if I had to look at myself or see myself. Cause especially when I getting ready to go swimming, I need to learn those safety skills for swimming. Cause that's why when I was in camp, I need to learn the safety tips on how we should swim. Because I can't take a swim test because I'm a non-swimmer. And non-swimmer can't do swimming tests. No way.
Right. Right.
And do you think the sun could be real harmful to ourselves?
Can the sun be helpful?
Harmful, I said.
Oh, harmful. Yes, absolutely.
And it was very harmful for all over your body or for your skin or both.
Anything that's exposed to the sun, any part of your skin that's exposed, it can be harmful.
Yeah, it could be really harmful to me because, one of my coworkers wear 3D glasses and he didn't put it in the trash. He keeps wearing them cooler, but then when he wear the 3D, he might get sunburn in his eyes. That's the problem.
Yep, you need to have regular sunglasses.
Not only 3D glasses. That's
not 3D
boring.
glasses. No.
I should never wear 3D glasses like this one, like that. Believe me. But I just want to stay protected from the sun. And as for the water hydration, it's not because that I wanted to keep me healthy when I go out and exercise, like go for walks or do the treadmill.
Yeah.
Or if I can do exercise like yoga and meditation as well too.
Yep.
Yeah. I can learn especially when my mom and I were at the beach, we prayed, we give glory to God, and then I was just sitting inside the stand when I didn't have my sunglasses.
Yeah.
Because that's why I want to see clearly,
Mm-hmm.
and I know what I'm trying to say. That's why.
That's why. Good job.
Awesome. Are there any other questions? Don't see any hands up. I saw you guys had a good conversation about applying sunscreen and how much you should apply and how often. Amanda, we'll go ahead and have Amanda ask her question, and then we're going to go ahead and wrap stuff up. Go ahead, Amanda.
I cannot have sugar-free drink because that's have sorbitol, and I cannot study too much sorbitol. That's one thing I don't drink. That's why sorbitol. I drink too much of sugar-free. The sorbitol does like me.
Yeah. Some people don't do well with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll try to be careful.
Yeah. That's why you drink water. There's no sorbitol or sugar in it.
Awesome.
I know you like your G2.
Awesome. Are there any other questions? Last call. Looking in the chat. Don't see anything. David, go ahead really quickly.
We want to thank you so much for taking the time for talking to us today. It was very helpful. Do you happen to know, Ben, if we can have a second part for this topic? It was very interesting especially for us athletes. Do you happen to know if we can bring Pam again to another Zoom meeting?
Yeah, I think that's something that you would have to ask Pam. I'm sure we would love to have her as much as we can. So we just have to work with her schedule as well.
Yes.
Well, I'll talk to Ben. We'll see what we can figure out. Okay, guys?
Thank you so much. Well, it was very helpful information for all of us.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, David, and thank you.
Awesome. So without seeing any other questions, we are just about out of time. We took up the entire hour, so that is fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining. I think we had a really great conversation. Thank you again, Pam, for leading in this topic about sun safety and hydration. Thank you guys all for joining. I hope you had enjoyed this as well. I see a bunch of thumbs up and waving and such everywhere, so that's awesome. Other than that, thank you again. I hope you have a great rest of your night, and I'll talk to you guys all soon, all right?
Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.
You too.
Thank you again, Pam. We appreciate it.